If you had to take a franchise quarterback out of the 3 drafts prior to Tua's draft, who out of that list would you want to take and why, aside from Patrick Mahomes? Because, sorry, listeners, I think that's kind of like an easy, semi-cliche type response there.
That's an easy answer.
Easy answer. There you go. So the list is, I do, I'm going to rattle them off. So this is the 2017 draft, I believe. The Chicago Bears, with the first round, second overall pick, took Mitch Trubisky. So he's out there for you.
Horrible pick.
With the 12th pick, the Texans took Deshaun Watson.
Not terrible.
Not terrible. In the second round, with the 52nd overall pick, the Browns took Deshaun Kaiser.
That was a bad pick.
Isn't he on the Raiders?
Not anymore.
Oh, okay.
He was.
Okay.
He was on the practice squad earlier this year, but he never cracked like the 53-man roster this year.
Okay.
He may have last year at one point.
So then we got
I don't think so.
So then we got the 2018 draft, first overall pick, Baker Mayfield to the Browns.
Yeah, I don't like it.
The third overall pick, Sam Darnold to the elite New York Jets. 7th overall pick, Josh Allen to the Buffalo Bills. 10th overall pick, Josh Rosen to the Arizona Cardinals. 32nd overall pick, Lamar Jackson to the Ravens. 76th overall pick, Mason Rudolph to the Steelers. 2019 draft, first overall pick is Kyler Murray. 15th by the Arizona Cardinals. 15th overall pick, Dwayne Haskins to the Washington Redskins. 42nd overall pick to the Broncos goes Drew Lock. So out of that list, I know that's a lot, but I think you're capable. I got faith.
So
who do you want?
I don't want Baker Mayfield. I don't want Drew Lock. I'm kind of torn here because I like not Jared Allen. He's a defensive end.
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. There we go. I like Josh Allen. I am not 100% sold on Lamar Jackson as a... I mean, it's hard to say what he's done is bad because the Ravens are a good team.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the Ravens team that's good and kind of helping Jackson along? I kind of feel like that's the case because the Ravens have had a good defense for forever. We may hate the Ravens, but they've got a good defense.
They have for a long time. Yeah, they have a game plan. They know how to draft. They definitely know how to draft defensive players. I think that what the Ravens do with Jackson is almost they protect him. They protect him by designing the offense to allow him to make up the yardage that he can't get through the air with his legs. So he, last weekend at one point, I don't know what his final stat line was, but at one point he was 50% completions for like 150 yards. And it was deep into the game, I think. And I was thinking to myself, that's not good. Like, if you couldn't run the ball and this was how you played quarterback position, you wouldn't play. You wouldn't play. So the thing that keeps him playing is his legs. And if I'm looking at a franchise quarterback, I want to pick this guy and not even have to worry about the position for 12 years. I want that to be like, you're here for the next decade for sure. And then at that point, we'll see how things are going. I do not feel that a running quarterback that plays like Lamar Jackson does can escape the injury bug for 12 years, for 10 years. I don't think, I don't want to wish him harm, but I don't think it's sustainable for 3 years. I just don't think it is. At some point, something happens, or you cut to avoid one tackle and miss that there's a guy coming right at you, and it's like a Vontez Burfict type guy, and they enjoy killing people, and they just take your head off or something. I mean, I feel like it could happen at any time, and if it does, then what does the team's pretty much screwed. They have Robert Griffin III, but I don't think he can replicate the yards on the ground, So
Right. I don't think so either.
that's kind of how I look at Lamar Jackson, and maybe that's kind of what you were saying, is that they kind of protect him from not having to rely on his passing game all the time. Like they can't get into a shootout with the Chiefs and win 49-45 or something like that. That's not how they're geared.
No. And a lot of it is the running game too. They've got a pretty good stable of running backs.
They do.
Dobbins, Ingram, and really, So this may sound weird, but out of all of those quarterbacks, I like Josh Allen.
Yeah.
That's who I like, because did he have a bad game against the Chiefs? Yes. They just got done playing the Chiefs on Monday at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. And, he didn't have a great game against the Chiefs, but neither did their defense.
Yeah.
And so, but Josh Allen's a big dude.
Yeah.
I think he's 6'7" and goes like 240 something.
Is he 6'7"?
Yeah, he's a big guy. He's a big dude. He's got a rocket
6'5"
arm. Oh, he's 6'5"? I was thinking he was 6'7". So he's 6'5". He's still tall. I mean, that's still pretty tall, 6'5".
Yeah.
And is he 240? Is that what they list him at?
You got him at 237. I'm looking at what his combine was, because it's probably 237 at the combine. He's guaranteed to put on a little bit of weight since then. So I bet you he's playing at 240.
Yeah, so somewhere around there,
Yeah.
230, 240. He's a big guy. He reminds me of a more athletic Ben Roethlisberger. I don't like Ben Roethlisberger, but he reminds me of... He's a tall, statured person. He's got really good arm talent. He can make difficult throws. His accuracy has improved significantly. That was his knock coming out of Wyoming, was can he be accurate? And that has improved this year in most of the games. He can also run, though. He doesn't use it as like his first option, but he can run, and he's pretty stinking good at it. Like I think he led the Bills in rushing at one point last year. He may have led the team in rushing, actually, now that I think about it. But he can run if he has to, which I like that in a quarterback, because sometimes, for example, Derek Carr, he's done a better job of this recently, but he refuses to create outside of the pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to be able to do that
Yes.
in today's NFL. You have to be able to get out of the pocket and manipulate safeties, corners down the field with eyes, with pump fakes. Or sometimes you just have to run the ball. You just have to tuck it and you have to run. And that's okay as long as you're not doing it every single play and you're fairly accurate. I feel like Josh Allen fits that mold. For me, he can take a hit because he's a fairly big guy himself and not get hit or hurt, sorry. And I feel like he could keep that injury bug away for those 10 to 12 years, if that's what we're using as criteria. He's not getting hurt a lot.
Right.
I mean, anybody can take, it can be an ACL or a meniscus or an MCL in the pocket, because, let's face it, you've got 300-pound dudes going at each other, and you're bound to get rolled up on sometime. Just a freak accident. But he's not putting himself in a position to constantly take a beating. I would like to see him not lower his shoulder into people.
Yeah, especially his right shoulder, maybe.
Exactly. But I do feel like he's he's got the durability because he is a bigger guy. He's got the arm talent that I look for, and as he's played, I think what is it? I can't remember if this is his third year or his second year. Is this his third year?
Third year.
Yeah, he's gotten a lot better. He's taken a big
Yes.
jump, especially from his rookie season to now, and those are things that you want.
Yeah.
At least I want in a quarterback. What say you?
I agree with you on Josh Allen. I presented this to you because I wanted to see if you would pick Jackson or maybe Watson or anything like that. But you said all the right things. I think that Allen has the size that I like. He's got the arm power that I like. He's developing, which to me is a huge positive sign. You're making positive improvements week after week. I think he's a little reckless, and I think he's one of these guys that's like, he's so capable of taking the team on his back that like he might be playing like the Washington football team and he's up 20-0 and he's trying to run over people with his right shoulder still because he's just like, he's that kind of guy. He just wants to keep playing and keep going. But I feel like against the Chiefs the other night, they kept showing pictures of him where he was definitely pissed off, but you could tell he was like resigned to like, okay, we've lost this game and I'm going to go out and play, but I'm not going to go out and play like lights out reckless because this isn't the time. Like I think that he noticed that. Okay, so I think that he's aware of it, and I think he is the right quarterback to pick there. You made a really good point of how the quarterback needs to be able to get out of the pocket and make plays. And there was a perfect example of that. It was Mahomes in that game. I don't know if you know the play I'm talking about, but he ran out to the right, and there was green grass in front of him for quite a bit. But instead of taking off immediately, he just kind of slowed down, took his time, and then finally somebody came open and he threw it. And most other quarterbacks, I think Josh Allen, I think Lamar Jackson, I think Mayfield, maybe even Darnold, Watson, Trubisky, all of them take off and run that ball. But Mahomes is like really cool under stress. Like he just doesn't care. If he gets hit, he gets hit. He's not really that concerned about it. At least that's how he appears. And I thought that was a great play. And
I have to watch that many times as a Raiders fan. Him under duress, making some absurd throw, like rolling to his left, throwing back like to the other side of the field.
Yeah.
He makes hard throws look easy. I think the like you said, the obvious answer is probably Mahomes.
Right. If he was on the left.
Second, I would take probably Josh Allen over any of the rest of them.
Okay.
I'm glad you didn't say Trubisky because I think he's probably going to be a career backup from now